In a land far beyond the Silver Mountains, where the air shimmered with magic and time moved slower than a dream, there was a village called Alder Glen. No one in Alder Glen really talked about the forest that surrounded the village. It was just there, quiet, huge, and sometimes whispering. Elara and Rowan were the only two kids who ever seemed interested in it. Elara, with her messy golden-brown hair that always escaped her braids, had a way of smiling like she knew a secret. Rowan, shorter and darker-haired, always tried to keep up, though he'd never admit he was usually scared first. They spent their days doing small things, racing sticks down the creek, building lopsided forts, collecting shiny rocks that looked like treasure if you squinted hard enough, but that morning felt different. There was a strange sound in the woods. Not birds. Not wind, something else. A low humming tune. Like someone singing behind a wall of trees. You heard that too, right? Elara asked, her voice dropping. Rowan frowned.
Yeah, maybe.
Maybe it's the old forest people talk about. Then let's see it. Elara, wait, no one, but she was already walking. That was just how she was. They followed the sound past the last house in the village, through wet grass and birch trees that glimmered like silver under the morning light. The air smelled sharp, like rain before a storm. The humming grew louder, almost warm now, and then they found it, a stone arch. Taller than any person, half covered in ivy. Faint blue light pulsed along the cracks. Rowan swallowed. My grandma used to tell stories about a place like this. The heart of the woods, said it only showed up when someone truly listened. Elara looked at him, then at the glowing stone. Then I guess we listened. When she touched it, the air rippled, like a pond after a stone is thrown. The forest changed around them. The trees seemed alive, glowing softly from within. Floating lights drifted between the branches. The sound, that humming, now came from everywhere, and then a voice spoke. Welcome, children of Alder Glen. A figure stepped out of the mist, tall, shaped from roots and light. Its face looked kind but old, like something that had seen too much. I am the guardian of the woods, it said. Why have you come here? Rowan froze. Elara spoke before he could. We heard your song, she said. It sounded sad. The guardian tilted its head. The forest's heart is fading. If it sleeps forever, this land will wither. But maybe you can help. Rowan's voice trembled. Us? To wake the heart, you must face 3 trials, said the guardian. They are not tests of strength, but of spirit. Elara and Rowan looked at each other. They didn't even need to say anything. Of course they were going to try. They stepped into a place filled with fog. It swallowed sound, until every step echoed back tenfold. A whisper floated by. Only those who walk without fear may cross. Rowan hesitated. His hands were shaking. Elara quietly reached out and took his hand. If we can't see the way, she said, then we just keep moving. So they did. The fog hissed. Shapes moved at the edges of their sight, but they kept walking. When Rowan stumbled, Elara pulled him forward. When Elara froze, Rowan muttered, We've come too far to stop. When the fog finally lifted, the guardian appeared again, its voice softer now. Courage, it said, isn't about not being afraid. It's about walking anyway. The lake looked like glass. So still it didn't even ripple when the wind blew. They leaned over to look, and their reflections began to move on their own. Rowan's reflection frowned. You'll fail, it said. Elara's sneered. You only pretend to be brave. The real Rowan turned pale. Elara, they're us. She bit her lip. No, they're what we think we are. Her reflection laughed.
You're small.
You're useless. For a second she almost believed it, but then she whispered, I'm not. She knelt, touched the surface, and the water shimmered. The false reflections cracked like glass. Dissolving into silver dust, the guardian appeared again. Kindness, it said, must begin with yourself. At the forest's centre, they found the biggest tree they had ever seen. Its trunk was pale, its branches grey, leaves curled like tired hands. The heart of the woods, whispered Rowan. Wake it, said the guardian, and faded. They stood there for a long moment, unsure what to do. Then Rowan pressed his ear to the bark. It's breathing, he said, but barely. Elara took a slow breath. Then let's help it breathe. They both put their hands on the trunk, closed their eyes, and started humming, the same soft melody that led them there. At first, nothing happened. Then, a heartbeat. A golden glow spread under their fingers, climbing up the bark, spilling into the branches until the whole forest shone like morning sunlight. The ground trembled. The air warmed, and from the mist the guardian's voice returned, faint and full of joy. You have done what few could. The heart lives again, because you remembered what others forgot. Courage, kindness, and friendship are the roots of all magic. A soft light touched their foreheads. The next thing they knew, they were back at the edge of the forest. The air was clear, birds singing again, sunlight spilling over the hills. That night, lying in the grass, Rowan asked, "Do you think it was all real?" Elara smiled. "I think the best things usually are, even if no one else sees them." And as the wind moved through the trees, a soft hum drifted through the night, the same one they had followed that morning. The forest was awake again, and it whispered just once, "Thank you."